Hi there, this is Shamla Tan, and here with me is Jayne Wells, the abundant therapist. And Jayne is a very established physiotherapist, and she runs a very successful business. And she now has this unique program called the Abundant Therapist System, and she coaches other therapists to make a bigger impact in the business easily and quickly. So, Jayne, can you tell us more about Abundant Therapy System? It sounds really something really that everyone needs, like if you're a therapist, you really need to get on board with the system. Can you tell us more about
Thank
it?
you. It's lovely. Yeah, thank you. It's lovely to see you today. I'd love to tell you about it. So I'm a physiotherapist, physical therapist, it's called in some parts of the world. And I've run a busy clinic from home for over 10 years now. And when I first opened my practice, I realized that I knew everything about being a physio and I knew how to treat people, but I had no idea about business sense. I had no idea about how to run a business. I didn't know how to find clients. So, like a lot of people, I set my clinic up, had a lovely shiny room, certificates all up on the wall, and the phone didn't ring. So I thought I really, really need to work out how to do this. So I started looking into courses about marketing and attracting clients to you and finding clients that would work for me in my business. And then realized that actually a lot of the techniques are very salesy and very pushy.
Mm.
So I've developed my own system called Abundant Therapist System, which is very therapist friendly, so that therapists can attract clients to them without being pushy and salesy, and being very gentle and caring and very authentic. Because as therapists, we're quite unique people, and we're very kind and caring individuals. So our marketing has to portray that. So that's why I started it up to begin with.
Okay, all right. You are known as in the therapist circle, you are known as the go-to person. So I'm gonna presume, and I feel that this is true too, that everyone looks up to you because you have a successful business running, and so they come to you for private mentoring and coaching, and you also offer online training. So, can you tell us a little bit about the difference between the online training and the private mentoring and coaching?
Yeah, thank you. Um, Yeah, I do a couple of various things really because different therapists need different help and assistance. So I offer a one-to-one VIP day where we spend a whole day brainstorming a business, talking about where that therapist is then, what they need to do, what they want to achieve. We set some goals and we set up a marketing plan to actually achieve that. So that's the one-to-one VIP coaching day. I then offer coaching on Skype, so that means I can teach anybody globally,
Mm.
and we talk every couple of weeks, and again we set a plan in action, and then every couple of weeks I check in and we work on what's happening next. And of course people can contact me through email between that time as well. So
Yeah.
I'm really holding somebody's hand, and depending on where they are in their business, whether they are a new startup or very established and want to build their business, or whether they want to attract clients.
Mm.
Um, we work on what they need at that time, so that's
Okay.
fantastic. So
Okay.
also, I've created an online product called Fill Your Practice System, which is all about, again, step by step. I think step by step is really, really useful because instead of being overwhelmed by something,
Mm.
literally we talk about the setup of the clinic, what first impressions, what clients will look for, how you actually collaborate with other therapists, so that you actually build a huge network of people that you can cross-refer within, about creating a word of mouth referral system. So it's good. It's fun to do. There's a workbook that people can literally fill in and make their clinic their own. So it's not prescriptive. It's very intuitive, and yeah, it's been fun making it, and lots of people have really enjoyed using it.
Okay, excellent. Sounds good. So, your programs are available for all therapists from all over the world, because you do this
That's right.
online
Yeah.
and by Skype. So, is there a particular area of therapy work that you prefer working in? Is there a particular group of therapists that you enjoy working most with?
Yeah. Um, in fact, I've worked with so many different types of therapists. I'm bound to miss out a few, but my system will work for physiotherapists like myself, osteopaths, chiropractors, acupuncturists, holistic therapists, Reiki practitioners. Um, I've recently worked with a pharmacist. I work with personal trainers, coaches. So the people I like working with are I mainly attract women to my programs.
Okay.
That might be because I'm a little bit pink and a little bit fluffy, but that's okay. Um, but I like working with people that are really highly motivated, who actually really want to make a difference in the world, who really want to share their gifts and their talents with the world. And so either a solopreneur or somebody who's a mobile therapist or has a clinic from home or a very small practice. I don't work as much with big practices because the philosophy and the ethos is slightly different.
Okay.
But I think the way that I work one-to-one with therapists seems to be my preferred choice.
Okay. So, in your private mentoring program, do you see it as, do you work from them right from the beginning of them building the business, or you come in at any time that they feel they need the assistance from you to help them to fill their business?
In fact, I do both.
Okay.
So if somebody is brand new and literally like I was, a room all set up, certificates on the wall, and the phone doesn't ring, we literally start from there. What do they want to achieve? Who are their ideal clients? Who's available in the local area? Who's their competition? Who could they collaborate with? The sort of clients that they want to work with, and actually set up a perfect ideal practice for them.
Okay.
So it's all about being very working with what they have and what their gifts are. So of course, if someone's already got an established practice but wants to build bigger and better,
Yeah.
then of course I can work with them as well. So I can work with both teams really,
Okay.
and each different group of therapists brings something else to the table, which is great.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, how did you yourself become successful in building your client base? You had to start from somewhere. So, I know you mentioned earlier
Yeah.
on that you went for seminars and you learned all this. And what, what inspired you to come up with this system, firstly, and also how did you, make it so successful for yourself?
Okay, I must just say where the name Abundant Therapist came from, because I had a little bit of a helping hand from somebody not too far away from me, because we did a bit of brainstorming about probably, goodness, how long ago? A long time ago, 8 years ago. And we talked about finding the perfect wording for the business that I wanted to create. And abundant to me means more than enough therapists, more than enough clients, more than enough money, more than enough to go round.
Yeah.
So on building that system, and my philosophy from that is so that the therapist I'm working with, it's very much working within the marketing in their own field, really, because every therapist has a different set of skills to bring to the table, and they offer clients very, very different things. But the philosophy is the same. So I started up, like I said, going to seminars and trying to find out what works for me. But I think what makes me stand out from the crowd is that I'm very holistic in my approach. So what a lot of therapists do is that they build their practice and then they think, those are my clients, I want to keep hold of them, and almost become possessive about their list.
Okay.
But my approach is very opposite to that. And my approach is I want to be the best therapist I can be for that client. And if I'm not the best person, then I would like to refer them to somebody else who could help them better than I can.
Okay.
So in that way, it's very client-led.
Yeah.
And because I'm very open in my approach, I think clients really like that because they know that I'm treating them from the best place that I can be, in my heart.
Yeah.
So that I know that I'm giving them the best that I can give them. And because I want to refer locally, I've built up an amazing network of other therapists. So I refer to personal trainers, sports massage therapists, osteopath. I refer to a homeopath, a reflexologist. So those are all skills that I don't have. And in turn, they refer to me. So we, even though I have a business on my own and I'm a solo practitioner, I have a huge network of other therapists I can refer to. So I feel like I'm working within a team, but we're all running our own separate businesses. So I think that's why I'm so successful, because I have a very open-minded approach to the therapy business. It's not just about earning money.
Right.
It's about being the best for that client.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. And
Sorry, a bit of a long answer to your question.
No. It totally makes sense because when you speak about abundance, that's what it's all about, isn't it? To share, to connect, to do what is best for the client and giving them the best solution. And you found the perfect formula in a way. Does that network work on a worldwide basis as well? How do you work with therapists from around the world? And is there somewhere that people could go to connect and network with your base, your client, your network base?
Yeah, I do. I actually run a private and secret Facebook group for abundant therapists.
Okay.
So once people are on my network, they can just come onto that Facebook group and we can all share, we can chat, we can collaborate. It's not a place to advertise.
Yeah.
It's a place for like-minded therapists to be together and say, I'm really struggling with this client. Anyone can help. Or I need to find other people in my network. What do people suggest? So, it's all about, like you say, collaborating and sharing and building and creating a really dynamic and successful business for ourselves.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I think social media plays such a big role in the work that we do, especially if we're going, worldwide and doing it online. Yeah. So I have a question for you with regards to social media. Do you use a lot of social media personally to market yourself? And do you also help your clients to do that in the programs that you have?
Yeah, interesting. When I set up originally my clinic 10 years ago, there really wasn't a social media presence out there. So, it's amazing how much it's evolved in the last, 5, 6, 10 years, whatever. So I really built my business from scratch from, local networking, building connections, creating the go-to person in the area. So people got to know me. I went to lots of therapist events and told people who I am and what I'm offering. I even went to my competitors because I have a physiotherapist competitor a mile in each direction.
Wow.
And I went to them and said, I'd really like to meet you for coffee. I'm setting up a clinic. And of course they were very suspicious to begin with and thinking, well, what's she doing? So they met me, I think, out of intrigue and to say, who is this woman and what's she trying to do? So I literally met with them and said, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I offer. I'm really happy to collaborate. I'm really happy to help you if you're on holiday. Is there anything that you offer that I don't that I could refer to you? And they were so bowled over that I was so direct and friendly and open that we've had an amazing connection locally. So that's how I started without the social media. Okay. But these days, social media plays a massive role in building your business. If you're a solo practitioner working from your home, you might not need a website. Might not need to spend expensive money on doing that. But having a Facebook business page is really quite useful. Again, people connect with you. You can actually do a Google Places, so you can actually say where you are. You can put a map on there. So that's really useful if you don't have a website. And again, it's a way of collaborating and talking to others and building different, getting involved in different Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups. I don't generally use Twitter very much just because it's so crazily busy on Twitter and it's difficult to follow the feeds. But I know a lot of people have a lot of success on Twitter.
Okay.
So that's my physio business. But online, of course, with my abundant therapist, I use social media all the time
Okay.
because I'm hitting a global audience. So,
Yes.
I've got two strings to my bow, really.
Okay. All right.
So,
I think your story about how you started from scratch and knocking on the doors of your competitors, it's a very inspiring story. I think people who run businesses should run it that way, and we don't see each other as competitors, but
yeah,
collaborators. And obviously, if you can do that with someone in your local vicinity, you can easily do that with anyone
yeah.
online across the world. It's a really inspiring story.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yeah, and I believe that everyone who are working, serving people, through their hearts, should adopt the same kind of principles in how they run their
Yeah,
businesses, because that's how abundance flow, right? So
yeah,
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 love it,
definitely.
love it.
Yeah, definitely. But
Okay.
it can work for all different professions, and that's what's so lovely about it.
Yes.
That it's such a almost generic training that
Yeah.
anyone can adopt. But it really the approach is very friendly yet professional, but very intuitive and very I don't know encompassing and warm and yeah, I really enjoy it. I had no idea it was going to take off this well. But therapists are obviously enjoying it too. So yeah,
Yeah.
long may
Excellent.
that continue.
Yeah. Nice. So, in the work that you do in the mentoring and coaching, what sort of mindset do therapists have to adopt, and what kind of mindset do you train them to adopt in order to be successful in what they do?
Yeah, that's a quite tricky one really because I think um, therapists are amazing people. I mean, I feel very privileged to be around therapists. There's some very, very gifted and talented people out there. But I think the general mindset is that people are frightened to charge for their gifts
Mm,
because they feel like it's a gift. They
yeah,
feel like they should give it away for free, which is fine if you're working with a charity
yeah,
or if you don't need to earn money. That's fine and that's great, and I think that's fantastic. However, if you want to turn your therapist practice into a business, so
mm,
taking it from hobby to business,
mm,
then you have to start thinking with a business head on. You have to start thinking about having some systems in place,
yeah,
having some marketing in place, having an idea on how to run the books at the end of the day so you're actually earning money. So the
mm,
mindset, I think, is a very much, or I try to encourage a real can-do attitude, a really if you want to achieve this,
mm,
you can do this. You
yeah,
can do this. It's not difficult. You might need a little bit of encouragement and your hand held a little bit, but it's very doable. And if you have that can-do attitude, you can achieve great things and
mm,
earn some really really good money from your therapist business because you're highly skilled and talented. Why would you not charge for that?
yeah,
We have a
exactly.
right.
Yeah,
We have a right to charge for what we do.
exactly.
So once we've got that mindset sorted about not charging enough or not charging at all, once we
Mm.
flip that and we start thinking a little bit more on the business side of things, then therapists just fly.
Okay, all right. So would you say that in your coaching work, you also help your clients to learn how to do the mundane marketing stuff, as well as to combine that with the intuition, intuitive
Yeah.
guidance that they receive, and combining that is so important. Uh, I know you do that on your own. So do you teach that to your clients as well? Because I'm sure people listening in Many of them are highly intuitive as well, because if they do things
Yeah.
like, energy healing, and you need to rely on your
Yeah,
intuition. And so they
definitely.
probably like to hear more about that, and how you do it.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about energy work, I work with animal energy workers as well, and light workers who actually do healing on animals. So these skills are transferable to many therapists. So
Yes.
it's important for people to realize that just because we're a therapist or a practitioner or a healer, we're still coming from a place of love and intuition and collective help and marketing. So from the marketing side, yes, the boring stuff, as you say, and the systems is it's quite right. But again, I've made it so simple that it's a matter of filling in boxes.
Okay.
I send you spreadsheets. I send you how I set up my business. We can talk about actually goal setting on spreadsheets, and we can work out if you reach your target for your clients, or how many clients you need to see a month, or how many clients you need to see a year to cover that. We talk about making sure you've got holidays in there, really keeping your diaries fluid and actually having time for your family. It's not just all business orientated. But if you're going to run a business, you have to have the systems behind it. You have to have the support. And whether that is somebody to pick up your children from school or someone to take your dog for a walk, there's still systems. If
Yes.
you're running a business, and
Yes.
if I mainly work with women that possibly, have children, I understand what it's
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
juggle it all. But you're quite right. The mundane stuff still has to be done if you want to make it a business and take it from a hobby.
Yep. Okay. Well, excellent. Thanks for sharing that. And
Yeah,
so,
my pleasure.
but what if a person is a fairly go with the flow kind of person, right? I know you have the systems. It's easy for them, to fill in the boxes and all that. Would they find it very challenging to try to implement that if maybe this is like the first time in their lives that they're following a proper system?
Yeah,
Is it easy for them to follow?
yeah, very easy, very easy. I really come from keep it simple,
Okay.
keep it easy, because there are so many courses out on the internet.
Yeah.
And that and there's some really big strong business courses, and write your own business plan, and you take a look at that and you think, I haven't got a clue what to do with that.
Yeah.
It's complicated, and it's not necessarily right for us in our therapy world. So I really have simplified it for what we need. We don't need any of the stuff we don't need. I only give you the stuff that we need, that's relevant to us, that's relevant in our business. And it really is as simple as filling in boxes. And
Okay.
of course, depending on what they need.
Okay.
Because if a therapist already has an idea what to do,
Yeah.
because they might have come from a marketing background, or
Yeah.
they might have worked in an office or that sort
Yeah.
of thing, they might have an idea what to do. But
Okay.
if someone's starting from scratch, we literally go back to basics,
Okay.
and we build it step by step by step.
Okay.
And once they've achieved that step, we move on to the next step, and then the next step. So it's very straightforward.
Okay. That's good to
Yeah.
know, because in Asia now, in Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, we have an increasing number of therapists out there, either offering alternative therapy or intuitive guidance or energy healing work. And I think most
Yeah.
of them struggle quite a bit with getting clients. And it's gone to the point when I think it's quite competitive.
Okay.
And maybe also the challenge that they face is the implementation of systems, which
Okay.
sounds very foreign to many. So it's good to know. What you have
Yeah.
is very easy, and even if they've
Yeah.
never done systems before, it's easy for them to just get into the program and just get on with it and try to fill their business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I think the words like marketing and systems are quite scary, because it makes you feel as though you need to know a lot about something.
Yeah.
But in fact, you only need to know the bit that's important to you. You don't need to know everything else. You only need to know the stuff that you need. And so that's all I teach. I teach you exactly what you need, And everything else that's all complicated, we leave.
Ah, excellent.
We
That's
don't bother
good.
doing any of that. There's no point
Okay,
teaching you stuff that's not relevant to your business. What's
that's
the point
true.
in learning that? So,
That's
so
true.
that's where I come from. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So is there a difference, different type of audience in terms of those who buy the program or and versus those who want to do the one-on-one mentoring? Is there a difference in the type of therapists or type of clients that come to you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is money led, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
So when therapists are starting on their own and they have very little money and very little
Okay.
money for marketing and that sort of thing, they might find the one-to-one coaching too daunting.
Okay.
So that's why I offer the very inexpensive program online, so people have something to start with.
Okay.
So the system online is a book on how I filled my own practice. So it's
Okay.
called Fill Your Practice with Lovely Recommendations and Referrals.
Okay.
And it literally, like I said, goes step by step through the process of setting up. I even tell you exactly what I say when I meet a therapist or someone that I want to collaborate with.
Okay.
And I talk about the wording that you can use, and if you're ringing up the phone call, what wording you can use on the phone call. So it's all very, very straightforward, and literally, it's a business in a box
So you
in a
have the
way.
script there.
Yep.
They can, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's a
it
very
has the script there. Yeah.
okay.
So again, it doesn't, because some people are very shy
Yep.
and nervous, but they're exceptionally good therapists.
Okay. All right.
They're amazing at what they do, but they just don't know how to make that first approach. So yes, the scripts are there as well. There's also a workbook which is included, so which complements the main system, and it's exactly the same. So they can go through reading the system, and then they literally fill in the workbook as they go along.
Okay.
So when I say, I would say to therapists, hello, my name is Jayne Wells. I'm local in the area, and I wanted to see how we could possibly refer clients to you. Would it be okay if we met for coffee and discussed it further?
Okay.
So wording like that, and then I leave a gap in the workbook so they can write it in their own
Right.
words and what would work for them.
Okay.
So literally, they fill in the workbook. So once the workbook is completed, they have their own system, their own business, exactly how they want it.
Okay.
And then they use that as a Bible for themselves.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So
So it's,
for people listening in now and watching us now, where would you
yeah.
send them to see this program that you have online? What is your website address?
Okay. So it's abundanttherapistreferrals.com. So it's a
Okay.
bit long-winded. So let me spell that out for you. So abundant is AB. I have to watch this because otherwise I might miss an R or an F out. So hang on one second. So abundant, ABUNDANTTHERAPIST, referrals, REFERRALS.com. So abundanttherapistreferrals.com. And my main website is abundanttherapist.com. And people can just go and have a look at that site, and they can download. There's a free ebook there which gives you
Mm,
an introduction to the system, so they can download that for free. I send them regular email tips in my newsletter on how I've worked my business, different tips on that they can learn and implement in their business. So they don't have to spend money with me straight away if they
right.
don't want to.
Right.
So they've obviously got the program which they can buy online,
Mm-hmm.
which is in UK it's 49 pounds, which
Okay.
in Singapore dollars works out about $87,
Okay.
something like that,
Okay.
which they can buy
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Or they can, of course, if they want to go further or want to implement much quicker, they can do the one-to-one coaching
Mm.
with Skype, or we can meet in person. My website is abundanttherapistreferrals.com. So abundant, ABUNDANT, abundant therapist, THERAPIST, referrals, REFERRALS.com, abundanttherapistreferrals.com.
Okay.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's
Okay.
okay once you've typed it in.
And for your usual
Yeah,
website is abundanttherapist.com. Is that it?
abundanttherapist.com. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
right.
Okay.
That's right.
Good. Um, if there is one thing that therapists or spiritual entrepreneurs should transform in their lives or in their habits or their mindsets to become more successful in filling that practice, what is that one thing you think that they need to transform?
Okay. I think the one thing we need to transform is to feel happy about charging for our services,
Okay.
because, like I mentioned before, we because we feel it's a gift, we
Yeah.
often don't charge. So I think the one thing is that we need to know that we are incredibly talented at what we do. We are professionals. We're offering a service, and clients need us. They want to pay us. They're happy to pay our prices. If they don't know about us, how can they come and see us?
Yeah.
Because people, clients like to be led. They like to come in and say, when do you think I should come back? And it's really difficult for a therapist who's new to go, oh, I'm not sure. Whereas someone like myself who, has been working for 18, 19 years as a therapist, people will say, when do you think I should come back? And say, well, in my opinion, I would like to see you in 2 weeks. That's entirely up to you. You would get more benefit if you do that.
Yeah.
But if not, we could leave it 3 weeks. So we're actually giving them the lead. They're asking for our opinion, our advice. And I think just to make sure that we realize that we are professionals and we are needed in the world, and
Yeah.
we're hugely talented, and it really is a privilege to be a therapist. So let's go out there and earn some money doing it. Why not? We've still got families and we've still got lifestyles.
Yep.
And if that's what we've chosen to do, then let's make the most of it.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Now remember, I have one question that I wanted to ask you earlier on.
Okay.
How long will one take to complete the program that you have online, the program in the box? How long will they take to complete it? And yeah, that's the question that I have.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good question, actually. Actually, reading the program through would take a couple of hours. That's it. But if you're actually sitting down with the workbook and you're going through step by step, it's a weekend project.
Okay.
It's a matter of just sitting down with it, and concentrating on what you need to do and thinking about your business and thinking of what you want to achieve. But you can read it and complete it within a weekend, and then you start it on the Saturday morning. By the Sunday evening, you finished it. The Monday morning, you're ready to start business. You're
Wow.
ready to make some phone calls.
Wow.
It's that quick to implement.
Okay.
So it's not long and drawn out. Of course, if people want to take a couple of weeks to go through each of the sections, of course, that's entirely up to them.
Yeah.
But if they want to get going quickly and to really find out what's worked for me and how they can copy those ideas, great.
Okay.
It's quick. It's really quick.
So this is excellent for people who may be feeling a little stuck and they feel they need some inspiration or some know-how as to get more clients into the business. So this is a perfect one.
Yeah.
They just spend a weekend doing it. Excellent. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even need to take a weekend. If you're sitting down, you're focused, you could go through it in a day. You really could. But you have to think about it and make it work for you.
Right.
The whole point is putting a little bit of work in. But like I said, once you've filled in the workbook, you literally you've asked yourself all the questions. Your ideal clients and what you want to do and how you want to set up your room and who you want to work with and local practitioners that you could maybe collaborate with. So everything is there.
Okay.
Everything is there, and it's quick.
Yeah.
It's quick. Let's not hang around.
Yes.
Let's make some money.
Yes.
Let's build our businesses.
That's good to know. What about the private mentoring and coaching program? Is there a set or fixed period of time that you coach your clients? Are there different packages?
Yeah, I prefer to do it over six Skype sessions over 3 months.
Okay.
So it's a 90-day program.
Okay.
So we obviously go in a lot more depth. We talk a lot
Mm.
about what they want to achieve. It's very specific to them and their business.
Okay.
So yeah. So we have a call every 2 weeks,
Okay.
and there's email support in between that time. But we really work on, what do you need? What's the next step? So they've got a couple of weeks to implement, and then they come back to the call. Okay, what do we need to do next? How's that worked for you? Okay, you've got problems with that. Okay, how can we readdress that? So it's very individual, the
Yeah.
program, but basically it runs over 90 days. So
Okay.
6 Skype calls in 90 days.
All right. So it's
All of the
ideal.
details, yeah, all of the details and the prices of all the packages are on my website, abundanttherapist.com.
Okay, excellent. So it's really ideal for people who need some hand holding for a while to get the business
Yeah,
started. And I think it's ideal, for really new entrepreneurs as well.
yeah,
Yeah, excellent. Well,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Oh,
So,
my pleasure.
yeah, would you like to also share with us? You have an offer for us, for people listening into or watching us on video now. You have an
Yeah.
offer to give to them?
Yeah, I mean, I have previous mentioned it slightly, but I'd really like people to have a look at the Fill Your Practice system, and and it's nice to know that this is real life, Camilla, and you have a dog. I'm cool with that. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, the Fill Your Practice system. So like I said, it's £49 UK and 87 Singapore dollars. Obviously, you'll be able to get the exchange rate for the country that you're listening to this from anyway. But have a look at that website. It's abundanttherapistreferrals.com.
Okay.
That'd be great. So it's support@abundanttherapist.com. So if people want to contact me directly, support@abundanttherapist.com.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a really good email address.
Yeah. And that's the whole idea, it's all about support and help.
Yeah,
It's important to do that.
yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jayne, for sharing your wisdom, your all the things that you have done to grow your business, to make it into such a successful business. And I'm sure many people who are watching us now will be really curious about what you'll be sharing. And just please go on to abundanttherapist.com to get the free download, and then consider getting the online program and take it further with her and get onto her coaching program and fill your business. So thank you, Jayne, so much again. I'm sure we'll be
Thank
in
you.
touch. I'm sure we'll be connecting with people here, doing our
Yeah.
Skype calls and videos again. So stay tuned, everyone.